The West Virginia Mountaineers pick up a sniper out of the transfer portal, but does that mean they're not going to add an extra big this year?
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking Mountaineer basketball as I travel through BFE to get to Provo, Utah. Thank you guys for joining in. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Game Time. And look, when we're talking about Game Time, they're doing a big this year. If you didn't know, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. Hopefully your first listen. And for being part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team every single day. The Mountaineers, of course. 7 days a week, Raven. That's right. Even after a 12-hour travel day, here we are using my mom's data. Hopefully it holds up because the computer Wi-Fi was crap. I was getting like 5 megs per second upload speed. So I just dropped down the camera footage, the camera quality, and roll. So, I mean, Blake, that's a good question. I don't know. I think don't let what somebody else is doing dictate what you are. You know, what we do things a little differently than, I mean, yes, it would be great to have that kind of money, but we blew our opportunity when Bob Huggins, unfortunately, when we had the best portal class in America. So he asks, why should I not be discouraged by Texas Tech and BYU? They bought big money rosters. It's fair. But we've seen in the portal era, big money rosters don't exactly equal anything. Continuity and filling gaps on rosters, that's what matters. That's what wins. Look at FAU in basketball. Look last year in football. That, you know, Ohio State was a team that returned a ton of big time pieces. They had a safety and Caleb Downs out of Alabama, right? They had a couple other pieces here and there. They had homegrown talent from Ohio that was excellent at the receiver spot. So you can't really base it off of who buys what. Now, look at Colorado, for instance, right? They won 9 games. They had probably one of the more bought rosters in all of college football. I don't subscribe to the fact that you can just buy your way into – you might be able to buy your way into the playoff, but you're not going to be able to get yourself into the national championship game and win it, in my opinion, unless maybe this is a new standard they've set. I hear that here's some pretty big numbers from Texas Tech, especially 60 million or so. Like, that's okay. Maybe you can with that. So West Virginia, what we're going to talk about here on this one is, as I fixed the background here, didn't change over. Okay, there we go. So obviously West Virginia has a new portal piece since I've been gone today. I saw Voice of Morgantown posted this. I haven't seen many other people post this, but I did reach out to some people that did confirm it. So West Virginia has added a Japanese-born basketball player out of Weber State in a transfer. Got to looking into him. I got a hold of some people at Weber State while I was sitting here making this video, and kind of got a little bit of a scout on him. Definitely a shooting player, somebody that can put it on the deck a little bit, can actually have some athleticism to his game. 6'4", 200 pounds, can do a couple things. Is he going to start or even be in the 8-man rotation? No, I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. Has he a developmental piece as a freshman coming in that could turn into something in 2 or 3 years? Absolutely, he could. He's got some length at 6'4". He's got some positional flexibility. He can probably guard 1 through the 3 at this point in time, and there's no pressure. So what I've done for you in memory of Coach Rodriguez and the hot piss that he still rolls through, I did the hot piss breakdown just for you guys. And if you know I'm on vacation, just for you, because I know you guys love it oh so much. So you guys know how it works. 5 categories, 0 through 10. We added up to 50 and see what we have at the end. And that's kind of our initial impression on the player. Player name is Neal Howitt. Obviously, he was a freshman walk-on at Weber State and doesn't have a ton of game footage. I looked, couldn't find anything. I found some very, very grainy stuff. It was just really tough to come across. So, but he is a point guard from Yokohama, Japan. He played at Ogden High School and briefly practiced with a professional Corsairs team. So, like I said, I'll evaluate him across 5 categories relevant to college basketball guard situation. Each category will be scored from 0 to 10, summarizing to a maximum of 50 on the hot piss meter. So, let's gauge his potential, in my opinion, and this is without a lot of variables. So, we're going to do our best. From what I understand, his athleticism is pretty good. So I give him a 7 out of 10 there. As a 6'4 guard, I think he's likely going to have some decent size and length for a college shooting guard or a combo guard, which is advantageous for defending multiple positions and attacking the rim. And also, you have to understand, like, his ability to earn a walk-on spot at Weber State suggests baseline athleticism. That's a Division I school. They're a mid-major program. So I have to arrive at a certain point just based on the fact that he could get that, right? Because that's better than your average Joe. Definitely not saying he's Big 12 ready. Definitely not saying that he's going to come in and be a stud. Just saying I have to assume baseline, right? So he does have experience with the B Corsairs, a professional team in Japan. That implies he could probably handle physicality and pace, though not start a level. And at 175 pounds, definitely lean, but he's going to get in the weight room and gain some of that back, which at the beginning is going to limit his strength against bigger guards, but it supports agility and speed, in my opinion. Without any more specific metrics, though, i.e., vertical jump, sprint times, scoring stats, on ball, off ball execution, I'm conservatively estimating above average athleticism for a freshman walk on. If you're going to talk about shooting, I was told he could shoot the rock a bit. So I gave him a 7 out of 10 there too. And as a guard, we know shooting is critical. There's no data on his shooting percentages or range at this point in time. So I'm just going to say his role as a walk-on suggests he's probably not going to be a primary scorer anytime soon, likely focusing on spot-up opportunities, maybe a little pick and pop situation here and there. And then you look at the off-ball movement and opportunities as well that come off of that. His high school background in Ogden suggested a brief professional, like I said, stint in Japan. That indicates he's had exposure to structured offenses and high-level execution, right? So that requires guards to shoot readily. You're reliably. You're not going to be in a professional setting and not be with your head on a swivel. So I'm assuming he has a serviceable jumper, but there is evidence that I don't have that can, say he's elite or anything like that. So we'll just have to assume that Ross Hodge and company are bringing him in mostly as a walk-on to be competitive with the other guys in the room and that kind of thing. Ball handling, I gave him a 6 out of 10. We know guards in his position. If he's going to be a point guard, he's got to be at least that. That's passable at this level. Defense, I've got him at 6 out of 10 at 6'4" with a lean frame. He's going to have the length to be a capable defender against guards and smaller wings, no doubt. And then the basketball IQ and intangibles, 7 out of 10, because Japan kids, they know they are all usually smart basketball players. And to be a walk-on, you have to have a strong work ethic. You have to have adaptability. You have to have determination. And his brief stint with the Corsairs shows that he's comfortable with high-pressure environments, which I think suggests a pretty good basketball IQ for a freshman. That's a total composite score of 33 out of 50. I certainly not breaking the bank with this one. I think it was worth talking about, but more so what I want to lean into because of this is we have one roster spot remaining, and I think it's a fair question we need to ask next now. Is West Virginia possibly not going to add any other bigs? And if so, is Harlan Obioha enough? We'll talk about it next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Game Time. And we talked about Game Time in the open, but let me go into a little bit more depth for you guys as we discuss this offer. And look, when we talk about Game Time, they do it big. And obviously one of my favorite apps that we talk about for the show because, look, if you've ever logged on early and been waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, you know what I'm talking about. Then you lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, contrary to popular belief. And then look, if you can want to save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals, well, you can do so. And if you're tired of endless scrolling, trying to get that best deal, scratching and clawing to get to that best concert or that best game, Check out Game Time Zone Deals and pick the best seats in the section for you. And don't forget about that panoramic seat view so there are no surprises for you. Also, no surprise fees at checkout. Everything is upfront and transparent for you. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets and show tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. And remember the terms, the times apply. But create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDON I can't spell COLLEGE, tongue tied, for $20 off today. And download the Game Time app where you get last minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed. And then go ahead and ask yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. It's segment 2. Let's crack open a hotel coffee. That's what I have. I don't need to be drinking no coffee neither, especially with my former anxiety issues, but I'm feeling great. Honestly, I think I feel relaxed. I'm about to hit the hot tub up, guys. I haven't been on anything for myself since I got clean 5 years. I literally not one vacation, not one thing for myself really. I mean, I bought myself stuff. I've got myself electronics, whatever, but for me to pretend like I've treated myself in any way, shape, or form, not really the case, right? So, I'm very grateful for this trip. These people at BYU that have offered me this at the county commissioner's office there at Explore Utah Valley. Very grateful for the opportunity. We had so to give you guys an update, thank you guys, by the way. I've had at least 20 people today reach out and ask me what's been going on, where am I at, different situations. We saw some crazy stuff today. I got to see the St. Louis Arch for the second time in my life, I think. And then we saw a truck literally explode on the side of the road. I'm talking about like propane or something was in it. Totally just boom, like probably no survivors. I don't know. I don't think I have. Let me see if I can find it. I might have an actual, might have a quick picture of it, or yeah, here it is. I'll have to show it to you on my phone, but if you can see that, we didn't know what it was. It was just like, holy cow, is that, just big smoke plume. And then as you get closer to it, you realize, oh my God, what a horrific situation this is for whoever was involved. I went past it a little. Sorry. All right, right there. Boom. That right there is a truck on the side of the road, totally engulfed in flames. No idea what happened. I don't know if somebody's dead or alive. It's definitely a road trip thing to happen. Hey, Doris from Dingus. Glad you're here. I always make sure to say hi to Doris. She's from my hometown in Dingus. What's up? What's up, Jordan? Glad you're here too, brother. Road trip's going good, man. We drove, like I said, right around 10 or 11 hours, maybe 12 today. I don't know. We left. I didn't even go to bed last night. I was so wired up. So I just waited till my mom got there at like 5 a.m, who's accompanying me on this. And, we drove all the way from the West Virginia border there in Huntington to Independence, Missouri. So that's where we're at today. So we made a pretty big chunk, the biggest chunk of the trek we're going to make. So we will be tomorrow heading in through, I think we go into Illinois at some point or something like that. I can't remember, but we'll be getting closer to Utah tomorrow. And then the next day we'll get there by like 1 or 2 o'clock. So we'll be in Provo then, and we're excited to do it. So let's get into the second segment really quick, though, because I have some questions about it. The signing of this kid leads me to wonder about our big situation. And I trust these coaches. I have no reason not to trust them. But, we're to the point now to where, I mean, you would think they've been trying to get a big, I would imagine. We've seen them involved with some 6'9" guys, the one guy, the Lucas Scorch that we were involved with the other day. I'm told is off the board. Told that the other day he was off the board. So here we are in a situation where we've got basically two bigs, right? We got Brennan Lorient and we've got Harlan Obioha. I love Brennan Lorient. I love Obioha, but I mean, they're going to have to come off the floor at times, or we're going to have to play smaller ball. You know, can you play a 5-out type offense with Lorient flashing around, or can you do it with Obioha in down low? I mean, you know, creating space for your shooters, sure. But man, we have very little margin for error. You know, ODA is another one. Maybe he comes along and is better than we think. You know, if you go look at his tape, ODA, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. ODA is one of our bigs. You know, he's 6'9" as well, and he's got athletic ability. He's very raw though, so we'll see. I mean, maybe he comes along and can actually be serviceable, because we just need him. You know, we need another big that can play right around 18 to 20 minutes a game. To be honest, Obioha in his career has never played more than I think 22. Maybe 25, something like that. I have to go look at the numbers, but he's not a big minutes guy. And how would you be at 7 foot, 280 pounds? Good luck trying to move that mass around all over the place. And teams are going to go after him, try to get him in foul trouble. That's going to be a definite game plan for teams. So, you know, I'll say this. You know, I went back and looked at some tape of him today. I am encouraged by what I've seen out of Obioha. I've always felt like he was a very good, with the potential to be elite low post scorer. You know, he hasn't had the straight number of opportunities in college in the past. We share a screen with you here. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll see. But, you know, Obioha is like I said, a very good scorer down low at times. And, you know, like if you look at him here, for instance, you know, and a pretty good rebounder too. Let's go to right here.
They feed down low right away to Obioha, flips it up and gets
that one to go. It's a tough contested shot. It's no good, but
Williams down to Montgomery, his three.
So as you can see, this is over 3 defenders, the positioning. He gets the rebound, bounces it off the back door into himself, puts it up. Here he is again against 3 guys.
Shot no good. The tip wouldn't go.
I get it's against Colgate. I get that too.
Ross, the crossover move, makes the extra pass.
But I mean, I think Obioha is much better than people realize.
They find Obioha, the feet.
He's 7 feet tall and he can do so much.
Big bodies in the post. Obioha with a baby
That's a beautiful left baby hook.
Williams, pick Obioha.
Look at the seal here, right? You run him off a screen, right? He's setting a down screen right here. So you run the offense like he's basically setting 2 screens and then sealing, right? You set a screen on the ball handler. Then if they switch, you got a mismatch, right? So the guy that was guarding the guard is now on Obioha, and you just take him down low and watch him seal right here. Boom, right? That's not exactly the best seal, but most of the time when you seal a guy off, you've really got him sealed off. I mean, he's got him sealed, but it wasn't what you expect from like a Tim Duncan, who used to really just seal people off, but it's still good enough. You get the ball in there, but once he gets it, man, he's got great footwork. And he's just so big.
Tap rebound for UNCW into
and then you'll see people try to do that against him a lot, where he's such a bigger guy.
Oh, Williams makes his man fall down, dishes it to Obi.
But you know, Obioha is a guy, and I don't think I've broken him down much on the show. You know, he had a double-double, close to it against Texas Tech. So I certainly believe he's got a shot to be a much better player, you know, especially with us, with way better players around him. But I mean, he's an elite finisher around the rim. He's very good at finishing around the bucket. I think he doesn't get enough credit for that. So I don't want to be too nervous. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and thank you guys for joining. Let's go to break one more time, and we'll come back. We'll put a bow on this episode because we have to get going. We have to go to eat dinner and the whole 9. So we'll be right back. Let's go to break, and we'll put a bow on this episode next. All right, guys, we're rolling past 20 minutes here, segment 3, Locked On West Virginia. Thank you guys for joining in. As we kind of discuss a little bit of a mild day today, right? Not a whole bunch to talk about. I've been on the road, so it's not like I've been able to talk to sources and exchange information all day like normal. I will let you guys know I do have a kitty camera in my house to where I can monitor my kitties at all times. So everything is fine with them. I have somebody feeding them while I'm gone, and I can even talk to them over the camera. But I tried to earlier, and they were trying to like play around with the camera, so I'm afraid they're going to knock it down. But like I went and spent like 40 or $50 and got a couple cameras to put in my house just so I could peace of mind. You know, I haven't really ever left them behind like that. So yeah, so things are going well though, guys. I appreciate everybody for reaching out and asking. Um, you know, I don't have a whole lot else on West Virginia tonight. Mostly, I just wanted to get on here and give you guys an update on the trip. Talk a little bit about the new commit. Talk about the big situation a bit because I think it's worrisome, certainly. Like I said, got this GoPro here that we're going to use to record all this footage and stuff. So we're excited about that. It's a super nice camera. Paid a pretty good penny for it. So, but I have to go get an SD card for it was my issue. So I haven't been able to record like the first couple hours of the trip, but I mean, that's not what people want to see anyway. So, you know, we'll wait till we get to Utah to really start recording. But all right, guys, I appreciate you for joining in. I'm going to get off here so that we can go and do what we have to do. But I'll update you guys tomorrow when I get to the next hotel. And also on Facebook, or not Facebook, but on YouTube, on X, and all that, guys. Make sure you like the video, please. Subscribe if you're new around here. And positively, don't forget that I love you guys. And thank you so much for being so supportive. Raven, yes, my mama is enjoying the quality time with me when I'm not griping about stuff. So sometimes I gripe too much, but I'm okay. To be honest, you know, we do deserve a break. So, all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Make sure to like, subscribe, the whole nine, like I said, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out of here. Good night.